everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Cedric Black Podcast. I am your host, Cedric Black, and as always, I'm grateful and thankful that you showed up again to have another listen to this week's episode. This episode, I wanted to focus on something that I haven't talked about before, and that is how noise affects our hearing. And all of us experience noise pollution, but I don't think we ever think about how it affects our ears in a way that we hear. All the traffic that we hear and the pounding bass that comes from maybe a neighbor's stereo or a car or a truck that's passing by with large speakers, and the crowded restaurants that I mentioned is something that I experience quite often. Now, these sounds might be annoying at the moment, but I believe that the real danger in that lies in the long-term effects, because our ears are really delicate if we think about it. They're really sensitive instruments that God gave us, and the continued exposure to loud noise can be devastating and have a devastating impact on our hearing. The key to that is the continued exposure to loud noise. A short burst may not be as bad, but if it's continued, if something continues to linger on, it has an effect. For example, if I eat ice cream today, it may not have an effect, but if I eat ice cream all day long every day, it's probably going to have a negative effect on my health in some way. I'll gain weight, but it most likely will cause other problems. So think about continued exposure in that sense. Anything that lasts long for our ears is not good, especially if it's loud. When we're engulfed or bombarded with loud noises, anything that rises above the 85 decibels, if you remember back to a previous episode, I told you that decibels were a way to measure loudness. Anything that exceeds 85 decibels for a long period of time, or even a single period in some cases, like a very loud burst of a sound, like a cannon or fireworks, these sounds can damage we have hair cells in our ears. They can become damaged, and for some people they can even die. And the damage that's caused by noise exposure usually happens gradually. And when that does, it leads up to a type of hearing loss called noise-induced hearing loss. I had to write that down so I didn't forget it. So if you ever read an article, if you see NIHL abbreviation, that's what it means, noise-induced hearing loss. That can manifest in different ways. And one of the most common symptoms is called sensorineural hearing loss, which affects the inner ear, and it makes it difficult for us to hear frequency sounds that are high-pitched. It makes it difficult to hear high-frequency sounds like, for example, like a bird chirping or a conversation when someone is speaking softly to us. Another consequence of NIHL, noise-induced hearing loss, is tinnitus. Some people may call it tinnitus, but I believe it's tinnitus. And that's the perception of ringing or buzzing in your ears. Some people may even experience a whooshing sound in their ears. And tinnitus can be constant, or it can be intermittent. Well, it doesn't always affect hearing ability, but it does, and it can be bothersome to some people. And in a lot of cases, it can disrupt sleep and concentration, because if you're constantly hearing ringing in your ears or buzzing, how can you concentrate and how can you sleep? It's not like if we sprain our ankle, because if we sprain your ankle, that heals over time. But the damage from noise exposure, that's permanent. And to this day, there is no cure for noise-induced hearing loss or tinnitus, which is why prevention is so important. It's so important that we're aware of the damage that can be caused by noise pollution and ways that we can prevent it. We can take steps ourselves And the first thing that we can do is to use ear protection, like earplugs. You can get them at any store. These are really a simple way to block out loud noises, and they're effective. And also, you can try noise canceling headphones. They offer a more immersive way to shield your ears, especially in environments with constant low frequency noise. And beyond that, I think the one of the most important things that we can do is look at noise regulations, because noise regulations play a crucial role in controlling noise pollution in our communities. And local governments can implement these ordinances, but they need our voices to speak up. We have to be the voice of the voiceless when it comes to working with our local governments to create regulations that can help create quiet environments for everyone. So remember that your hearing is a precious gift. I believe mine is a precious gift because I need my ears for my job. And safeguarding it ensures a lifetime filled with beautiful sounds of the world around us. That's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in, and hope that you walk away with some informative information and ideas about protecting your ears. Until next time, we will see you on the Cedric Black Podcast.